The Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, PMG-MAN, in collaboration with GPE EXPO Private Limited, presents the 7th Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo 2024. Theme: 40 Years of Advocacy, fostering partnership and innovation to unlock the pharma manufacturing value chain in Nigeria, Central and West Africa. Keynote address speaker, Professor Padmashree Gehl Sampath, Chief Executive Officer, African Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation, Kigali, Rwanda, and Senior Advisor to the President, African Development Bank, AfDB, Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Special guest of honor, Dr. Tunji Alausa, Honorable Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chief host, His Excellency, Mr. Babajide Sanwolu, Governor, Lagos State. Host, Oluwatosin Jolayemi Esq, Chairman, PMG-MAN, CEO Managing Director, Daily Need Industries Limited. Date 4th to 5th September 2024. Venue, the Balmoral Convention Center, Sheraton Hotel, Ikeja, GRA, Lagos, Nigeria. Time 10 a.m. daily. This hybrid event will be streamed live on Pharmastream TV YouTube channel, inclusive of all PMG-MAN platforms. Subscribe to these channels for live notifications. Announcer, Pharmacist Patrick Aja, Chairman, MPME 2024, MD CEO, May and Baker Nigeria PLC. Signed, Pharmacist Frank Mwaneme, Executive Secretary, PMG-MAN.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to this epoch-making event, the 7th Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo. This indeed is the largest exhibition of Central and West Africa on complete pharma manufacturing. This year we're looking at this exciting theme, 40 years of advocacy, fostering partnership and innovation to unlock the pharma manufacturing value chain in Nigeria, Central and West Africa. I shall be your host, Pharmacist Charles Agbona. With me on this duty is
Mrs. Ngozi Osuji.
Yes, so we're going to be taking you through the different aspects of this program. Lest we forget, this program is jointly organized by PMG-MAN and GPE EXPO. And of course, we have our partners, the Bank of Industry and the Pharma suppliers, and the numerous exhibitors and companies all over the exhibition stand. I'm sure you all have a copy of this program. It's indeed loaded. Your Google map will not lead you around the exhibition stands, but this to tell you where you can find the different companies. We would like to begin with the national anthem. I'm sure you can lead us so that both the young and the old and the not so young were able to follow. So, if I have your permission, can we begin with the national anthem? Shall we rise for the national anthem? 1, 2.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Who triumphs on medieval, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace all battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed.
Thank you very much. Please, Mr. Down. Yes, that Nigeria may be blessed. And this conference indeed is an avenue of blessing Nigeria, because we are bringing who is who in the pharma manufacturing sector all in one place at one time for 2 days. We are indeed positioned to be blessed. So I need to congratulate each one of you present, because I want to assure you that you are at the right place at the right time doing the right thing. We'll make a few recognitions of those here present as we get the names, after which we'll be inviting the chairman to make his welcome address. Can you tell us who here present, please?
I join my colleague to welcome everyone once again. We want to recognize a few persons here. Everyone is very, very important, but we will give honor to whom honor is due. Want to take this opportunity to recognize the representative of the Minister of Health, the Director and Head of Pharmaceutical Services Division, Pharmacist Kazim Talatu. Please, can we put our hands together as we recognize them?
You're welcome, Pharmacist Kazim. You're welcome.
We also want to welcome our own, the Chief Regulator of the pharmaceutical industry, the woman who has held the pharmaceutical companies with her hands and taking us to the promised land. Please join me and welcome our one and only Professor Moju Adeyeye, the DG of NAFDAC. Please,
Yes,
let's put our hands together.
She's here. Please. Yeah. Madam, you're welcome.
You're welcome,
I saw you
ma'am.
in South Africa a few days ago. You're here. Good.
Always looking radiant.
Yeah.
Yes. We also want to recognize Dr. Olajide Adebola, representing Professor Sampath, our keynote address person today, the CEO of African Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation and Special Advisor to the President, African Development Bank, Kigali, Rwanda. Please, let's welcome Dr. Olajide Adebola. You're welcome, sir.
Sir, you're welcome.
You're
And it came
very
quite
welcome.
early. Yes,
Yes.
one of the early birds here today. Sir, you're welcome once more time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'd like to especially recognize the Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General MB Mawa, retired. And it's ably represented here at this occasion by the Commander, NDLA Lagos Strategic Command, AL Wali, Commander of Narcotics. Yes. Sir, you're welcome.
You're welcome, sir.
We also have the representative of the Controller General of Customs. Yes. Controller B.O. Ojomo, PhD, FSR. Sir, you're welcome.
You're very welcome, sir.
Yes. The gatekeepers of the nation. Sir, you're welcome. I'm happy to see you in person.
We will also want to recognize the representative of the Executive Vice Chairman and CEO of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission in the person of Madam Olubimi Oath. Please, if you are here, can we recognize you?
Can you wave? Oh, madam, you're welcome. We see you.
We
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We want to also recognize the representative of the MD of Bank of Industries, our partners, in the person of Mr. Obaru or sir. Please, if you are here, can you please?
Sir, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
And of course, the WHO representative of Nigeria, represented by Dr. Chinere Okafor, the coordinator of Lagos State, is representing our own Dr. Walter Kazet Molumbo. Dr. Chinere, you're welcome. Yeah, you can you just wave? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see you. Madam, you're welcome. Nice one. And of course, we have the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, representing the DG-MAN, Paul Adedeji.
Paul Adedeji. Oh, so I see you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We will also want to welcome Deputy High Commissioner for India, the person of Mr. Vatka Mrs.
Wow, what just happened here? What just happened here? Of course,
Mrs. Vatka Rawat. I hope I got that name.
yes,
I
yes,
pronounced it well.
yes.
You're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome.
Madam, you're welcome. Yes,
Very much
yeah.
welcome.
Fresh from God. All right, so that brings us to the program, and then you all be welcome, but we are just John the Baptist to prepare the way for the person to welcome you properly. And that's the duty of the chairman of the Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo 2024. I'm talking about our own, one and only pharmacist Patrick Aja. A round of applause for him, please. Sir, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
And now, welcome us properly.
Thank you so much. Thank you, MC. And thank you for recognizing our guests. I know that we still have some of our guests coming, but we can't keep those of us that are here waiting, especially since my mommy is already here. I am free to start this function. So if you are not here, I mean you're on your own, later you're going to understand this. But on behalf of the PMGMAN and on behalf of the organizing committee of this very important event, it is a great honor and privilege to welcome our special guests who are here. We have representatives from the Lagos State Ministry of Health, and of course, our mommy, the DG NAFDAC, is here. Mommy would like to appreciate you. You know, sometimes when you have a mother that is busy, it could be challenging, because they called me last week. Yeah. You're welcome. So they said they wanted me to get hold of her. India, and I was going to India. I said, I'm going to get her. But when I got somewhere else, and we were scared that she might not, but here she is. Please, can we put our hands together for the DG NAFDAC? I'm sure they're going to try to sort out connection of together for this very important occasion. And I sincerely want to appreciate all other dignitaries Please, we may not have mentioned your name. I know the Commissioner for Health, Lagos State, is on his way to represent the Governor of Lagos State, who is supposed to also welcome you. Please feel comfortable, feel relaxed. Members of the committee are around. If you need anything, please, we are here to serve you. But we want to appreciate you for making sure that this year, this function still happens. We have over 55 companies all the way from India and China that are represented here. We have over 100 companies of PMGMAN who are also present in this occasion. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to say that the next place where Nigeria needs to go is where the local industry is strong enough to begin to take control of the drug manufacture of the West Africa and Central Africa sub-region. So if you look at the expo that we have, you'll see EXPO. There's something that is missing. RT needs to be added to that because the companies of PMGMAN in Nigeria needs to start exporting our products to other parts of Africa. And that is why we have all our partners here. That's why we have the government represented here. And our DG has been a very strong influence to make sure that we are not just doing what we're doing, but the whole of Africa and sub-Saharan Africa and the rest of the world know that Nigeria is a force to reckon with. And that is why we're doing what we're doing today. So we want to appreciate all of you who have come to make sure that this expo succeeds. And we are encouraging and asking the government to, I know the government has been doing a lot, but we still need more resources that comes in on time. So once we have the resources that is timed, that expo will extend to exports. And then our companies will begin to move our products to other parts of Africa. So once again, I'd like to appreciate all of you that are here. We will thank captains of industry that are here, the APIM, the many other aspects. MAN is here, our parent body. Thank you so much. And please relax, and we have a whole lot to get this function going. We also want to thank our keynote speaker, who is not here. We're probably going to be hearing from her on Zoom, but she's also represented here. I will not fail to appreciate the chairman. God bless you. We'll make sure we'll sort out this microphone before our dignitaries take the stage. Once again, thank you, our very able dignitaries, for coming, and all members of this very occasion. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
In two as well. And then if you were quite attentive as I was, you see that he also just released the powers that this might be very soon an annual event. So Pharmacist Patrick Aja, thank you very much for that welcome address. So that brings us to the chairman's message. Before the chairman comes, we would like to just highlight a few persons here present, and they are.
We want to recognize We want to recognize the presence of Engineer Mohammed Hussein, representing the Minister of Trade and Industries, Inspectorate in Lagos. Please, can we put our hands together for him?
Sir, you're welcome.
You're so welcome, sir. Also, we also want to welcome Pharmacist BC Okewole, representing the Honorable Commissioner of Health in Lagos State. Please, if you are here with us, can we welcome you properly? Welcome, ma'am.
We see you.
Also, Mr. Olumide Lawson, the Presidential Initiative for Unlocking the Healthcare Value Chain in Nigeria. Mr. Olumide Lawson, please, if you are here, can we recognize you?
Yes.
You are so much welcome.
Yes, sir, you're welcome.
And I also want to welcome all the captain of industries here present. PMGMAN, MDs and CEOs, the manufacturers of our machines from India and China and all over the world. We want to say welcome. And it is my privilege to welcome for the welcome address, the opening message by the chairman of PMGMAN. He is the MD and CEO of Delinit Industries.
Of course.
Delinit Group, as a matter of fact. Please join me and welcome for his message, Mr. Oluwatosin Jolayemi Esq.
Chairman, you're welcome. I see
Welcome,
your staff is quite loyal.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for coming. I guess the chairman of the expo had spoken our mind. And for those that have not been mentioned that came in early, we see a lot of faces. I see a lot of faces that I know here. But to mention names will be out of order, because if I miss out your name, you probably will not like it. But I thank everyone for coming early, especially those that came early. We appreciate you, and we thank you. My message is going to be very short and very brief. But permit me to read it out to you, because I don't want to speak from my head, so that I don't take too much of your time. So, on behalf of the management and advisory board of the entire members of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Group of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, I warmly welcome you to the 7th edition of the Nigerian Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Expo, an international exhibition on complete pharma manufacturing. The theme of this year's expo is 40 years of advocacy, fostering partnership and innovation to unlock the pharmaceutical manufacturing value chain in Nigeria, Central and West Africa. It was thoughtfully selected to reflect the 4 decades of advocacy for medical sciences, for medicine security. And as we celebrate this milestone, it is imperative to rethink our strategy for the partnership and innovation, particularly in closing the gap in accessing of essential medicine through localized production. The lesson learned from COVID-19, the pandemic, has highlighted the critical importance of a robust local manufacturing ecosystem supported by strengthened regulatory authority, advanced research and development system. Our journey in the industry has been long, yet we are yet to achieve self-sufficiency. From our humble beginning of 20 foundational members in 1983, PMGMAN has grown to over 120 membership, and we're all committed to driving equitable access to medicines. Today, some of our members, some of our companies have achieved WHO qualification, and many more are poised to join in this prestigious league. For example, Swiffer Pharma Nigeria Limited has secured WHO qualification for 2 of our products in the last 2 years. And as the saying goes, a local pharmaceutical industry is only as strong as its regulatory authority. While we celebrate the achievement of NAFDAC, our national regulatory authority, on the WHO qualification of our laboratories and attainment of ML3, it is essential to strike a balance between attaining global certification and making a compelling business case for organizations making substantial investment in this sector. The ultimate goal is to ensure that our people have timely access to safe, quality, and affordable medicine. We must also recognize the significant percentage of Nigerians and other people in the region that bear catastrophic out-of-pocket expenses to access medicine. There must be a guaranteed uptake and market access to encourage investment in this part. Otherwise, it undermines the business case for such investment. To create a win-win situation, Nigeria must be deliberate and intentional in crafting smart trade, regulatory, and fiscal policy to unlock the untapped value chain in the pharma space. These policies must foster partnership and encourage the adoption of innovative models. Our members are scaling up and building new greenfield facilities out of patriotic commitments, and they eagerly await the implementation of critical policies. Recently, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, issued an executive order to stimulate investment in the healthcare sector along the value chain of the pharmaceutical manufacturing. However, the implementation framework is still being finalized. While we commend the government for the strong political will to take a different approach to what has been in the past, we must caution that the real challenge lies in the faithful implementation of these policies. In the past, numerous government policies have been passed, and it has been undermined by lack of goodwill or lack of willpower to implement policy effectively, often worsened by unhealthy competition among revenue-generating government agencies. These agencies must harmonize their mandates and policy to avoid obstructing the implementation of the presidential order and a broader goal of unlocking the value chain in this sector. Success in this regard could be, say, 10% formulation and 90% implementation. This has been a recurrent challenge compounded with the unstable macro and microeconomic environment that affects the ease of doing business. We strongly recommend that the presidential order take full effect immediately upon the publication of its framework. To truly unlock the value chain in pharmaceutical manufacturing, we must focus on creating an enabling environment free from double taxation. NAFDAC must further be strengthened to build capacity for effective and timely support for pharmaceutical quality management system. To our partners, we hope that this year's Expo inspires you to continue to partner with us in our journey towards achieving medicine security in Nigeria through the provision of technical support and more. To our colleagues in the trade sector, we encourage you to employ contract manufacturing opportunities with the PMGMAN members companies, as government policy is increasingly emphasizing manufacturing opportunities. As government policies is increasingly emphasizing local production, backward integration, and technological transfer. To our local and international exhibitors, we hope you discover lucrative business opportunities in Nigeria, Central and West Africa, as we move towards regionalized market access under the African Continental Free Trade Zone Agreement. We're honored to have our guest speaker, Professor Sampath, here represented by Mr. Olajide, the CEO of African Pharmaceutical Technological Foundation in Kigali, Rwanda. And finally, welcome to Lagos, the Center of Excellence, and Nigeria is the next frontier of pharmacy, of pharmaceutical and life science. While you are here, for our guests that came from overseas or out of Lagos, please, while you are here, take time to explore the beauty and sophistication of Lagos. It's a vibrant society, and we look forward to welcoming you next year, and look forward to welcoming you 2026. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think the chairman actually said 2026 from the paper, but deep down in his heart, he's actually looking forward to welcoming you here next year, as the chairman of the Nigerian Expo has actually predicted. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you for that message. We move straight ahead to get to the keynote address, and as advertised, is going to be presented by Professor Padmashree Sampath, who actually would be speaking through the voice and the person of Dr. Olajide Joseph Adebola. So, Dr. Adebola, please, can you be upstanding? And perhaps maybe you stand here. Let me tell them about who you'll be speaking about. Yes, please. Wow. This way. No, not yet. Yes. Aha. You know, even without climbing, you're already taller than everybody here present. So imagine if you even climb the podium. So please, can you just climb the platform? Exactly. Just oppress us properly. Fantastic. That's it. So, I want you to meet the keynote address speaker who will be talking on 40 years of advocacy, fostering partnership and innovation to unlock the pharma manufacturing value chain in Nigeria, Central and West Africa. Professor Sampath, we already know, is a senior advisor to the President, African Development Bank, Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. However, I need to let you know that she is also the Chief Executive Officer of the African Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation, a pan-African institution in Kigali, Rwanda, focused on technology issues. Prior to this role, actually, she was affiliated with the Beckman Klein Center at Harvard University, where she served as the director of the Global Access in Action program since November 2021, 4 years before which she was the senior advisor at that same center. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a thought leader in development studies and global health, who contributed extensively to the fields of trade, technology, and industrialization. Professor Sampath is recognized for her pioneering work on international technology transactions, particularly within the pharmaceutical and health sectors. Over the past 2 decades, her research has centered on the impact of technology access on local production and its subsequent effects on the availability of drugs, vaccines, and therapeutics. I need to congratulate each one of you here present, because all these has particularly been within the African ecosystem. Our experience includes serving as a senior scientific advisor to the African Center for Disease Control, where she led initiatives on market shaping and pooled procurement systems at the African Union level. It is interesting to note that Professor Sampath also chaired the technical advisory group of the COVID-19 Technology Access Pool of the World Health Organization and advised the German International Agency and the German Ministry of Economic Development and Cooperation on vaccine production acceleration in Africa. Our contributions to the African Development Bank Group has been pivotal in conceptualizing the African Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, in academia, Professor Sampath holds honorary and visiting professorship at the University of Rwanda and University of Johannesburg, respectively. She is also the member of the Trade and International Development Advisory Council of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Her earlier roles include positions in the United Nations, where she worked on technology, innovation, and development at the University of Denmark. Professor Sampath has also served as an independent expert on the World Health Organization's Commission on Intellectual Property, Innovation, and Health. Her scholarly contributions include 6 published books and 2 more in the pipeline, and her research has appeared in esteemed publications such as Michigan Journal of International Law, Harvard International Review, and Harvard Public Health Review. As the saying goes, to him who has shall be given more. And as such, Professor Sampath also serves on the editorial board of the Journal of Competition and Change. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the keynote address speaker of the Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo, Professor Gehl Sampath. A round of applause for her. And I was wondering, who did she ask to speak on her behalf? Who could this person be? And just a little Google search has proved that he is the project coordinator at NIPRIT, National Institute for Pharmaceutical and Research Development. As if that's not enough, he is also the chairman, Safeguard Commission, Nigerian Olympic Committee, Vice Chairman, Medical and Scientific Commission, Nigerian Olympic Committee, and member, Medical and Anti-Doping Commission, Association of National Olympic Committee of Africa. No wonder you were sent. Dr. Olajide Joseph Adebola. Please come and tell us what Prof asked you to tell us. Another round of applause for him, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Compere. I'm delighted and honored to stand before all of us this morning to read to us the keynote speech of Professor Padmashree Gehl Sampath at the opening of the 7th edition of the Nigerian Pharma Manufacturers Expo 2024, taking place here at Sheraton, Lagos, Nigeria. I would like to align myself with all the listed hierarchy of protocols already recognized and identified, but time will not fail me to specially recognize the Deputy High Commissioner of India, who is seated with us here today. And I also like to acknowledge specially our own amiable, indefatigable DG of NAFDAC, Professor Moji Adeyeye, representing Dr. Tunji Alausa, the Honorable Minister for Health, State, and Social Welfare. All distinguished government and development partners that are present here at the 7th Nigerian Pharma Manufacturing Expo, as well as members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to deliver the speech of Professor Padmashree Gehl Sampath, the Chief Executive Officer of the African Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation. She would have liked to be here this morning with us, except for other institutional engagements that precluded her attending. Let me now read her speech to you. Your Excellencies, my dear friends of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, PMG-MAN, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria's pharmaceutical and vaccine industries are vital components of the country's healthcare system and economy, contributing significantly to health security and economic development. For example, the pharmaceutical industry alone generated over 1.62 billion in revenue in 2022, and it is estimated to reach 1.96 billion in 2024, with the annual growth rate expected to be 8.08% between 2024 and 2028. But the market value, will get to 2.3 billion by 2028. Like many African countries, Nigeria's pharmaceutical and vaccine sectors face numerous challenges that hinder their ability to meet the healthcare needs of the population effectively. Historically, Nigeria has heavily relied on 70% and 90% of imported pharmaceuticals and vaccines produced respectively to meet its demand, leaving it vulnerable to supply chain disruptions and high costs. Even as we take note of such constraints, I would like to take a moment to highlight how in the past 5 decades, Nigeria's pharmaceutical and vaccine sectors have undergone noticeable development in the positive direction, driven by various factors such as population growth, disease burden, healthcare infrastructure, government policies, and global health initiatives. Nigeria's share of domestic pharmaceutical production has been steadily expanding. It is mainly thanks to those efforts that Nigeria has witnessed a steady decline in drug importation. A NAFDAC press briefing in 2023 confirmed that the country relied on about 70% of drugs for importation as opposed to 80% a decade ago. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here at the Nigerian Pharma Manufacturers Expo, I want us to give a large applause for the men and women mostly seated in this room who have made this achievement possible. Please give yourself an applause. We have increased domestic manufacturing from 20% a decade ago to 30% today. But we must ensure we move forward. We must work toward 50% domestic manufacturing by 2034, if not earlier. But we cannot do that without learning from history. We have seen the first-hand impact of lack of domestic manufacturing during COVID-19. Even now, with MPOS, just as Nigeria has received the first consignment of vaccines from abroad, there is so much more to be done. We cannot allow history to repeat itself. Africa cannot rely on international partners to assure the access of its population to MPOS vaccines or other medical products for that matter. That is why the African Development Bank launched a $3 billion pharmaceutical action plan to revamp and support Africa's pharmaceutical industry to manufacture essential medicines and vaccines. The African Development Bank is also investing additional $3 billion to boost health infrastructure through its strategy on quality health infrastructure in Africa. These efforts are directed to support the agenda of the African Union for Africa to produce 60% of vaccines by 2040. But technology is the centerpiece in successful domestic manufacturing. Each of you faces this question: what shall I produce? Where should I invest my money? How would I diversify my products, pipelines? And how to access markets? And what risks should I take and which one should I not take? These are essential questions, especially in pharmaceutical manufacturing, where our companies compete in a highly competitive global environment. To help accelerate the access of African countries to new technology, processes, and platforms, to expand their product portfolios and support local pharmaceutical companies to meet the World Health Organization standards, the African Development Bank established the African Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation, APTF. The APTF is built on some key learnings of how successful pharmaceutical sectors and companies can be supported. First, catching up requires not just finance investment or some partnership, but a more rigorous and systematic effort to change the overall technology environment in which African companies operate today. But this requires support at several levels. Practically, as of today, African companies do not have the scouting and negotiation capacity and bandwidth to engage with global pharmaceutical companies. they also lack the technical know-how to apply new technologies as part of current and planned partnership, which will impact their capacity to use the currently initiatives to build sustainable and resilient pharmaceutical production capacity. Secondly, African research and development and innovation ecosystems are fragmented and need to be rebuilt to support African companies in pharmaceutical production and innovation. Finally, African countries need to offer more longer-term support and incentives for local companies to assess and build on existing and new technologies by furthering collaborative linkages, creating partnerships, and facilitating markets creation for locally produced pharmaceutical products. So, today, I would like to end my speech by highlighting the African Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation's work in Nigeria and our partnership with the PMG-MAN. Our work in Nigeria has already started. The APTF organized a high-level dialogue on access to medicine in Abuja from March 18 to 19, 2024, in collaboration with the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development. Following the dialogue, we conducted a survey of companies which are just now in the conclusive stages. Our survey shows that of the numerous constraints, there are some that needs diverse, direct, and specific interventions. For example, raw materials account for 70 to 80% of production costs, which is a significant hurdle to competitive pricing. Supply chain limitations is yet another one. Companies procure less than 0.1% of their material inputs from local sources and over 90% from foreign sources, particularly India, China, and Europe. In this context, I'm particularly happy with APTF's partnership with Nigeria's PMG-MAN. We will work to support Nigeria's PMG-MAN in all possible ways to accelerate pharmaceutical production in Nigeria. Together, let us make sure that the painful history of COVID-19 never repeat itself again in Africa. For emphasis, I repeat that statement. Together, all of us at this expo, let us work to make sure that the painful history of COVID-19 never repeats itself again in Africa. It is not just about vaccines, it is about building our pharmaceutical sectors. It is about dignity and security of the lives of all our people. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present the keynote speech at the 7th Nigerian Pharma Manufacturing Expo. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening. And in case you have any questions for APTF, I'll be around till the end of the day. Please, you can see me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was the professorial keynote address, ably delivered by Dr. Adebola. We have entered the next section of the program, which is policy statements by the officials of government. Yes. And each of them have 2 minutes to make their presentation, and we're going to call them in a particular order.
Please join me as we receive the representative of NDLEA for their policy statement. Let's put our hands together as he comes up.
Yes. NDLEA.
The chairman, the 7th Nigerian Pharma Expo Manufacturing 2024, permit me to stand on the already established protocol. It is with immense pleasure and deep respect that I deliver this goodwill message on behalf of the Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, retired General Muhammad Bu Marwa, CON, OFR, who extends his warm regards to everyone present at the Nigerian Pharma Manufacturing Expo 2024. The significance of this gathering cannot be overstated. It reflects our collective commitment to advancing the pharmaceutical sector in Nigeria, ensuring the availability of high quality, safe and effective medicine for our people. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in its mandate to curb the menace of drug abuse and illegal drug trafficking, understand the critical role that a robust pharmaceutical manufacturing ecosystem plays in this battle. By ensuring that our necessary medications are produced, distributed, and consumed legally and responsibly, we can mitigate the risk associated with counterfeit drugs, substance abuse, and illicit drug trafficking that threaten the health and security of our society. This conference provides an invaluable platform for stakeholders across the pharmaceutical industry to collaborate, innovate, and formulate strategic approaches to overcome challenges. It is a testament to our shared vision for a healthier and more prosperous Nigeria. We commend the organizers of this Nigerian Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Expo 2024 for bringing together such a diverse, good expertise and experience. The insight gained here will undoubtedly fortify our collective efforts in policy formulation, regulatory compliance, and fostering of a resilient pharmaceutical supply chain. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency remains committed to supporting the pharmaceutical industry through rigorous enforcement of drug regulations, advocacy, and partnership that promote the lawful production and distribution of pharmaceuticals. We believe that with robust regulation and collaboration, we can strike a balance between accessibility to essential medicines and stringent control against drug abuse. Let us take this opportunity to reaffirm our dedication to this noble cause. We all have a responsibility to ensure that our children and future generations inherit society from the scourge of drug abuse and illicit trafficking. May the liberation and outcomes of this conference drive significant strides in the Nigerian pharmaceutical manufacturing ecosystem, catalyzing progress that echoes far beyond the halls. Thank you, and I wish you all a fruitful and impactful conference.
Thank you so much, sir. We also want to invite the representative of PCN for your policy statement.
Yes, still on our regulators, the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. The representative of the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. I'm sure they are busy issuing some licenses. Let's move to the next.
She's on her way.
Oh, she is. Oh, yes, please. Let's put our hands together for our regulators. I just risked losing my license. Madam, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I stand before you on behalf of the Registrar Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, Pharmacist Ibrahim Babajide Ahmed, who is unavoidably absent because he's just on his way back from FIP conference in South Africa. I bring to you warm greetings from the staff management of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, and also we are delighted to be part of this program today. The theme of this year's Expo, 40 years of advocacy, fostering partnership and innovation to unlock the pharma manufacturing value chain in Nigeria, Central and West Africa, is well chosen, especially at this time when the pharmaceutical industry is undergoing a rapid transformation driven by technological innovations, demographic shifts, regulatory changes, and consumer expectations. Therefore, all players in the pharma sector need to adapt and remain relevant in the changing pharma landscape. They need to collaborate to co-create value. The organization of the Nigerian Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Expo is a confirmation that we are in the right path. It is our expectation that interactions at this event will highlight areas of collaboration and innovation towards unlocking the pharma manufacturing value chain to ensure the availability of affordable, safe, quality, and efficacious medicines in Nigeria through local production. I would like to congratulate PMGMAN for organizing this expo and also assure you of PCN's commitment to growth of the pharma manufacturing sector in Nigeria. I wish us all a successful and fruitful deliberations and networking. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. We're used to complying, and she actually also just led by example by complying to the time duration allocated. Madam, thank you. And next is the...
Yes, I want to, before I continue, I want to recognize somebody that walked into this program, one of our leading MDs and CEO of one of the pharmaceutical manufacturing company and the past president of PMGMAN. Please join me and welcome Dr. Oke Apa.
Dr. Oke, you're welcome.
You're welcome, sir. To continue, we invite the representative of the Nigerian Customs Service for your statement.
The representative of the Honorable Minister of Health, the Director General NAFDAC, our Chairman CEO, NDLEA, ably represented, very esteemed stakeholders in the pharmaceutical industry, good morning. My name is Controller Babajide Olomu. I'm here to represent the CGC, Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, DSM, PSC Daga. It's with great honor and privilege that I stand before you today as a representative of the Controller General of Customs. I extend these very warm greetings and best wishes for a successful and impactful event. Today we gather to reflect on 4 decades of advocacy that have shaped the pharmaceutical manufacturing group in Nigeria and the broader Central and West African regions. This gathering is not just a celebration of your past achievements, but a strategic moment to chart the future of an industry that is vital to our health, our economy, and our collective well-being. The Nigerian Customs Service is committed to playing a critical role in supporting the growth and development of the pharmaceutical industry. We recognize that a strong pharmaceutical sector is key to meeting the healthcare needs of our population and reducing our dependence on imported medicines. The mandate of the service is not only to facilitate trade, but also to ensure that the goods entering our borders meet the highest standards of quality and safety. In this context, this means we are actively engaged in preventing the entry of substandard and counterfeit medicine. which pose significant risk to the health of every Nigerian. And this we are very committed to protect. The service understands that the challenges facing the pharmaceutical sector are complex and many-sided. That is why the service is committed to fostering partnership with key stakeholders, government agencies, industry players, and international partners to build a regulatory environment that supports innovation and growth in this sector. Additionally, the service recognizes that collaboration is key to unlocking the full potentials of the pharmaceutical value chain. By working together, we can create a more enabling environment for local manufacturers, enhance our already streamlined regulatory processes, and improve access to essential medicines for our people. More so, innovation lies at the heart of any thriving industry. In the pharmaceutical sector, this innovation must extend beyond the laboratory to include the entire value chain, from raw material sourcing to distribution. The service is embracing digital transformation to enhance our operation, improve transparency, and facilitate smoother trade processes. By leveraging technology, we can better track and monitor pharmaceutical imports, ensure compliance with regulatory standards, and reduce bottlenecks that hinder the timely delivery of medicines. This is in tune with the ongoing collaboration with the Health Federation of Nigeria, HFN. Our aim is to create a seamless interface between the regulatory and operational aspects of the medical supply chain by creating special corridors for importation of essential medical products, thereby supporting the industry's growth. As we look forward to the future, it is clear that the road ahead will not be without challenges. However, the service is confident that with the right partnership, innovative approaches, and a shared commitment to excellence, we can overcome these challenges and unlock the full potentials of the pharmaceutical value chain in Nigeria. This is a collaborative call on all stakeholders, government agencies, industry leaders, and international partners to join hands in this endeavor. Together, we can build a pharmaceutical sector that not only meets the needs of our people, but also stands as a symbol of innovation and excellence on the global stage. In conclusion, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the organizers of this event for bringing us together to have this important discussion, and to reiterate the commitment of the service to supporting the pharmaceutical industry through effective regulation and collaboration. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and successful event.
Thank you so much, sir. We want to hear from the representative of PVAC. And before he comes on, we want to recognize the presence of the Commissioner of Health, Lagos State, representing the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Sanwolu. The Commissioner is here to represent him. Please, let's put our hands together for the Commissioner of Health, Lagos State. You're welcome, sir. We are going to hear the policy statement from the representative of PVAC. Please, can you come up? I think they are still on their way. If we have the representative of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Investment, please, can you come up and give us your statement? Let's put our hands together for him as he comes up.
Good afternoon. I'm here to represent my honorable minister. As you all are aware, she is not in the country, and she delegated my permanent secretary, but unfortunately, he is unavoidably absent. That's Ambassador Nora Abba Remy. So I'm here to read the document given to me. Before I start that, I want to recognize the presence of the representative of Minister of State, the presence of the governor, the key speaker. I want to align myself with the existing protocol. The speech go as follows. It is with great honor and pleasure that I stand before you as a great guest honor at today's event to celebrate this historic occasion, 40 years of unwavering advocacy dedicated to fostering partnerships and driving innovation in the pharmaceutical manufacturing sector. The milestone marks a significant chapter in our collective journey toward building a resilient and sustainable industry that not only meets the healthcare needs of our people, but also position Nigeria, Central, and West Africa as leader in the global pharmaceutical market. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who has contributed to this journey, from our esteemed partners and stakeholders to the dedicated teams within Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. Your relentless effort and commitment have been instrumental in shaping the future of this pharmaceutical industry in our region. Your collaboration and support have paved the way for the progress we are celebrating today. As we gather here today, it is important to reflect on the achievement of the past 4 decades and to strategically chart the course for the future. Our focus is on unlocking the pharmaceutical manufacturing value chain through the power of partnership and innovation. This vision aligns closely with Mr. President's Renew Hope agenda, especially to accelerate diversification through industrialization, digitalization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation technology, as well as to focus on education, health, and social investment as an essential pillars for development. The Federal Ministry, in collaboration with relevant government MDAs and private stakeholders, have developed a policy framework for the creation of Health Industry Corporation of Nigeria, that's HICON. Ladies and gentlemen, the concept of HICON emanated on the need to develop a strong and sustainable policy framework that will adequately respond to the rising challenges of the health sector, especially as manifested during the global COVID-19 pandemic. So, in order to fast-track development in the health industry, HICON will ensure development of the entire health industry and its value chain. Accordingly, you may wish to note that HICON was strategically developed to oversee the development of entire health sector related industry in Nigeria, with the overall mandate of ensuring the availability and affordability of health care in Nigeria. The policy framework will facilitate the development of capacity that will promote self-sufficiency in the manufacture of drugs, that conventional and herbal, vaccines, medical instruments, diagnostics and products, as well as sustainable health industry that is locally endowed and internationally recognized. It is equally worthy to take cognizance of the pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria, and the broader region has undergone a remarkable transformation over the past 40 years. What began as a nascent sector with limited local production capabilities has evolved into a dynamic and growing industry that is increasingly capable of meeting domestic demand and contributing to regional supply chains. Key milestones include the establishment of local manufacturing facilities, the development of regulatory frameworks to ensure the safety and efficacy of products, and the strengthening of public-private partnerships that have driven innovation and capacity building. These factors have not only improved access to essential medicines, but have also contributed to the broader goals of industrialization and economic diversifications. Therefore, our collective achievements are closely linked to the implementation of the Nigeria Industrial Revolution Plan, NIRP, with the objective of accelerating the industrialization of key sectors, including pharmaceuticals. The NIRP represents a broad strategy to transform Nigeria into a globally competitive industrial economy by focusing on sectors where Nigeria has competitive and comparative advantages. The NIRP have prioritized the development of the pharmaceutical sector as a strategic industry capable of creating jobs, reducing import dependency, and enhancing our export capabilities. The plan emphasized the importance of building industrial clusters, fostering innovation, and strengthening local manufacturing capacities, all of which are critical to unlocking the full potential of the pharmaceutical value chain. On this note, the progress we have made in the pharmaceutical sector is also in alignment with the Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's GCFR's economic blueprint, which underscores the importance of industrialization, economic diversification, and inclusive growth. President Tinubu's vision for self-reliant Nigeria is one where our industrial sectors, including pharmaceuticals, play a pivotal role in driving economic development and improving the quality of life for all Nigerians. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President's blueprint is anchored on the creation of business environment that is conducive to investment, innovation, and sustainable growth. This includes implementing policies such as HICON that support the development of local industries, enhancing regulatory frameworks, and fostering public-private partnerships. The pharmaceutical sector, with its potential, is to generate significant economic and social impact, is a key component of this broader vision. However, while significant strides have been made, the journey has not been without its challenges. The pharmaceutical industry, both globally and regionally, is characterized by rapid technological advancement, shifting regulatory landscapes, and increasing competition. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted vulnerability in global supply chains and underscores the need for greater self-sufficiency in critical sections such as healthcare. These challenges also present us with unique opportunity. The need for reality supply chains has accelerated the push for local manufacturing. Technical advancement offer new ways to innovate and improve efficiency, and the growing demand for affordable and accessible medicine in our region provide a compelling market opportunity for local producers. Therefore, as we look to the future, our strategic vision is clear to position Nigeria, Central and West Africa as leading hubs for pharmaceutical manufacturing. To achieve this vision, it is pertinent to focus on these strategic goals: strengthening partnership and collaboration, innovation and technical advancement, continuous building capacity and workforce development, enhancing regulatory frameworks and harmonization, promoting industrial clusters and infrastructure development, expanding market access and export capabilities. Without further ado, let this milestone mark the renewal of collaboration and partnership between the ministry and relevant stakeholders towards sustainable growth and development in the health industry, while leveraging on HICON's policy initiative to attract investment that will address availability, affordability, and reach of essential services, as well as technology transfer and technical know-how of our medical practitioners. At this juncture, let me assure you that the ministry will work closely and cooperate with relevant MDAs as well as the organized private sector to cover the entire health industry value chain. In conclusion, I want to reaffirm our ministry's commitment to supporting the growth and development of pharmaceutical industry, guided by the Nigeria Industrial Revolution Plan, NRPN, the industrial development agenda of our ministry, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's GCFR visionary leadership. We are on a path to building a future where a Nigerian and our region leading in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Thank you for listening.
Yes, I mean, when I saw the speech written from the federal ministry, I mean, you cannot, industry, trade, investment, that's quite a lot. And they could not use AI to just summarize it. So thank you, sir, for that policy statement. We'd like to move to the turn of our uncle of PMG-MAN, that's MAN, Manufacturer Associations of Nigeria. Please, can you come over and give your policy statement? MAN, representative MAN, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Okay. Next on the list is the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON. All right, so that brings me to a good time to announce that it's time for goodwill messages. Goodwill messages, and on the list here we have the before goodwill messages? No? No, we have goodwill messages. in a very glorious way. The first on the list of these goodwill messages, and we have from the India High Commission. And we have here the Deputy High Commissioner, Vartika Rawat. Vartika Rawat, you're welcome. You are welcome.
Good afternoon. Honorable Director General NAFDAC, Honorable Senior Representatives from Health, NDLEA, Customs, other dignitaries present, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste from India. It gives me great pleasure to be a part of the Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo being organized by PMGMAN and GPE EXPO, coming right after the IFEX 2024, which was organized by Pharmaceutical in India from 28th to 30th August 2024, and which witnessed a robust participation from Nigeria. It gives me confidence that the interaction, collaboration, and cooperation in pharmaceutical sectors of India and Nigeria is very substantial, with immense potential to be enhanced further. India is a popular destination for advanced medical treatment for patients from Nigeria. We are working with the Nigerian side for co-opting onto the dedicated Heal in India portal, which has been designed to facilitate medical treatment of patients wanting to avail world-class medical facilities at affordable cost. Additionally, India, with its experience in addressing health concerns of a big, vast population and providing health facility to all, can share the expertise in setting up of hospitals, laboratories, and related medical infrastructure. Besides, India has offered the India Stack on digital public infrastructure, which, amongst other areas, aims to assist in faster rollout and monitoring of health services. I understand that Nigeria National Malaria Elimination Program is already in consultation with eGov Foundation of India regarding Digit, Health Campaign Management Platform. The CoVIN application, which was developed during COVID for handling world's biggest vaccination program and has stood the rigors of the tests and enhanced functionality for universal immunization program in India, is also included on the platform. I would like to inform the gathering that India is not only the major supplier of pharmaceutical products to Nigeria, but India is also a major investor in pharmaceutical sector in Nigeria. Out of the total investment of US $27 billion, over US $4 billion is invested in the field of pharmaceutical production. In 2022, Serum Institute of India has signed an agreement with BioVaccine Nigeria, which is a government of Nigeria enterprise, to produce vaccines locally. We remain committed to bolster our cooperation in this sector between our two countries for the mutual benefit of our populations. Once again, I convey my congratulations to PMGMAN for successfully organizing the Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo. My good wishes and regards to all of you present. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So we move still on the global scale, we move to the World Health Organization. WHO, representative of World Health Organization? Yes. Okay. Give us a global perspective. Madam, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Standing on the existing protocols, I am representing Dr. Walter Kazadi Molombo, who is the WHO representative for Nigeria. He sent his greetings. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it due to flight disruptions. So standing on the existing protocols, let me start by thanking the Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Group of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, PMG-MAN, for inviting me to the 7th Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo. This event is in alignment to the government of Nigeria's agenda on local manufacturing, which is a major pillar in the health sector strategic blueprint and is being implemented under the Pillar 3 of the sector-wide approach. The World Health Assembly resolutions, WHO 74.6 and 67.20, mandated the WHO Secretariat to continue supporting member states at their request in promoting quality and sustainable production of medicines and other health technologies, and to strengthen regulatory systems. Member states at the just concluded 74th session of the WHO African Regional Committee meeting in Brazzaville, Congo, which held from the 26th to the 30th of August 2024, approved the framework for strengthening local production of medicines, vaccines, and other health technologies in the WHO African region. The framework represents a unitary vision, goals, objectives, regional targets, and milestones aimed at facilitating monitoring and evaluation of progress towards addressing the identified gaps in the regional manufacturing ecosystem. The framework aims to guide member states in the planning and implementation of strategic actions to establish and scale up local production to increase access to medicines, vaccines, and other technologies. As part of the effort to support Nigeria to improve on local production of medicines, vaccines, diagnostics, and other health technology, WHO is conducting a support mission to the country on mRNA and the diagnostics technology transfer, and will be engaging with government agencies on regulatory approvals. The WHO pre-qualification services are also ongoing, with more companies showing interest in the areas of medicines, syringes and needles production, and diagnostics. We congratulate Swiss Pharma Nigeria for the record-breaking achievement of the second pre-qualified medicine in the West African region. WHO will continue to work with other UN agencies and development partners to ensure uptake of such quality products. Finally, I wish to congratulate the Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Group of the MAN. I wish us all a successful event. Thank you very much.
That was from the World Health Organization, giving a global perspective to this event. So we move very quickly to our industry partners, the Bank of Industry. And then the representative of the Bank of Industry here is the Divisional Head, Business Development, Obaro Marvel Osa. Osa, you're welcome.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by thanking, please, all protocol duly observed. Let me start by thanking the chairman of the occasion for his speech earlier, and of course the guest speaker, which I also listened to, and of course from all partners that has happened previously. I am Mr. Obaro Osa. I'm representing the MD CEO of the Bank of Industry, Dr. Olashikpo Olusi, who is unavoidably absent to this occasion. He extends his regards and wishes because we know as an institution, anybody involved in manufacturing, they represent a part of a critical stakeholder. And we want to see how we can do more production in Nigeria. And producing locally is one of the core mandates of the Bank of Industry. So my speech basically is on financing. All the previous conversation, none spoke about financing. And that is why BOI is here. Everything you want to do, you want to set up a pharmaceutical shop across the value chain,
one of the major requirements that you must consider in all your planning is how do you get financing. And that is why Bank of Industry comes into play. We are an institution licensed or created by the federal government of Nigeria. We've been around for about 65 years. It came into being 1959. It's gone through some metamorphoses and changes. And currently we are referred to as the Bank of Industry since 2001. And our essence is to develop the industrial sector of the Nigerian economy. So the pharmaceutical sector, the health sector, is a major part of our intervention planning and programming. And what we do to support this sector is to provide facilities to enable them to buy equipment and working capital. The equipment, we classify that as term loan. And the term loan are basically to buy your machines, your power requirements, your generating sets, anything that involves you need for your production processes. And of course, we also offer working capital. For the term loan, we can give you facilities up to 5 years with interest rate of 10% per annum, and that makes it clearly below the commercial rate. And I'm happy to note that most of your members currently are customers of Bank of Industry. But we want to have more of your members coming to BOI to seek financial support so that we can jointly grow our economy. Because from one of the species, we've only been able to provide support up to 30% in terms of local production for the pharmaceutical needs of the country. That means that there's still a gap of about 70% which are being imported. We can cover that gap if more of our members can come to any of our locations across the Federation and seek support from the bank so that we can help you to set up businesses to cover that 70% gap. We've also done a thorough review of the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry globally. And we know that it's a high growth area. And because it's a high growth area, that is an area that needs constant funding. And of course, your market size is getting bigger as the population is increasing. So what it means, we are ready as a strategic partner to continue to work with you to set up your businesses, expand your current operation, and continue to do business to grow the GDP of the country. Some of the challenges in industry which we noted and we're trying to work with your association to address include the issues of limited manufacturing capacity in Nigeria. We think that we can do more than what we are currently doing. And in fact, take over the West African and African market if we can have more industry being upscaled to do more business currently in Nigeria. And that is why BOI is a strategic partner to give you facilities at below commercial rate, longer term, give you moratorium period, and also support you all the way through your production processes and expand and continue to upscale your production. We are also aware that industry also do not have enough skilled workforce. And so such engagement and collaboration, we also continue to work with several institutions in the country to continue to address the concerns in that subsector. Lack of access to finance is so critical. And what we are offering is for your members to please feel free to come to any of our offices to continue to seek funding for our businesses, for your business. Some of our requirements, because of time, I'll not go through the presentation, are the fact that you need to have a registered business, you need to have a business plan, you need to have an idea of what you want to do, the kind of support you need from the bank, and how the pro forma invoice is ready. Then you approach any of our state offices. We have requirements that we normally tick off in terms of what you need to for you to access funding from the bank. They're already predefined. So once you have that list, please go through it and go through meticulously and ensure that all the requirements are met. Then you don't do a formal application to the bank. And within 30 days to 60 days, we must come back to you with what we want to, or what I want to agree to support you, upscale your request, or etc. And what we are doing is basically to support you to bring your equipment and, of course, your raw material needs. And we've done that for several members, and we think that we can work more to grow that number currently. Our ultimate vision as an institution is to be Africa's leading development financial institution, to provide support and business advisory to teaming Nigerian customers. But we basically support businesses only located in Nigeria. So for people who are not in Nigeria, who are in this seminar, we advise them to think of coming to domesticate their manufacturing process in Nigeria if you want to benefit from BOI's funding needs. We will not be able to support you if you are manufacturing outside. We do not support trading as an institution, but we support you if you try to domesticate that production locally in Nigeria. Lastly, let me say that the management of the bank welcomes such interaction on a continuous basis, because it is when we work together as partners and collaborate that we can grow and develop our country. So I want to thank the organizers for this wonderful opportunity and wish you well in your future deliberations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We thank you for explaining that you can give us money when we come. We are going into the next phase, and because I don't want my premises to lack approval, I want to welcome Dr. Amina Shekara Omar, the Director of Inspection, Monitoring, and Quality Assurance of PCN. Please, let's put our hands together for her. PCN, yes. She has spoken. Now we want to bring up the women that have changed the face of regulation in the food and drug industry in Nigeria. The one and only, the one that, I don't know how to explain this woman, but she is a force. Very intelligent, very brilliant, full of ideas. Please join me as we welcome the DG NAFDAC, Professor Muji Ade.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Standing on the existing protocol, I will give my short celebration of PMGMAN speech. But I would like to recognize the Executive Governor of Lagos State. I would like to recognize the Indian Commissioner, High Commission. And most importantly is a celebration of our patriots. Our patriots are the local manufacturers. Let's give our hands to all the local manufacturers. It is almost about 7 years ago that I took over the DG position in NAFDAC. And since that time, we have been doing implementation, not just talking. Implementation. 40 years of advocacy, 7 years of implementation. Right from the word go. So we are doing common sense regulation. The PMG-MAN chairman, Mr. Jolayemi, mentioned that we have to balance it. We have been balancing it. Whatever you see now in Nigeria, just pardon our appearance. We are under construction in the pharmaceutical industry. We are under construction. Pardon our appearance. Because NAFDAC doesn't sleep. NAFDAC doesn't sleep because we want local manufacturing to become 70% and importation to be 30%. Almost 7 years ago, or 6.5, I was at Ilorin for the NAIP conference, and I mentioned it there that we're going to reverse it. We're going to reverse addiction for importation to addiction to local manufacturing. Why is local manufacturing so important? Because we get more quality medicines from local manufacturing. Why is that so? Because I need to connect the dots. If a local manufacturer is not doing well, we get the report. Of course, we monitor them. We did about 6 months roadmap for good manufacturing practice in 2018, 2019. But sometimes, if a manufacturer steps out of track, we are there within 2 hours. We are there within 2 hours. We can shut them down if it is a grievous violation. That is why local manufacturing is not just access, it is access to quality medicine. Access to quality medicine. I want to recognize our Indian partners, manufacturers, because when we started 5+5 4 years ago, they stepped up. We have to recognize that fact. And when we now think of how many or how much are we producing locally, it's no longer 30%. It's close to 40%, and we will make that public very soon. What have we done in NAFDAC? A lot. We started the journey by thinking quality. Thinking quality. And to think quality is a mindset. You've got to change your mindset. We forced ourselves to start changing our mindset by going through training for 1.5 years. And 2019, we got our ISO 9001. We are recertifying. We are being recertified every year because it is not a one-stop event. It is a continuous quality improvement. We have transmitted that. We are transmitting that to our manufacturers. That is why we now have 2 products that are pre-qualified. And it is just the beginning. It is just the beginning. We're going to have more products pre-qualified. Our goal is not just Nigeria. That is why we are doing common sense regulation. Our goal is Africa. Our goal is global. We cannot compare ourselves with ourselves. We cannot compare ourselves with somebody that is at our level. We are comparing ourselves with a much, much better benchmarks. That is why we started the journey on global benchmarking, also in 2018, alongside with quality management system. And we got ML3 in 2022. Only 30% of regulatory agencies in the world have that. Only 30% of regulatory agencies in the world have that. Our manufacturers are feeling it. Some of our manufacturers now are already going to different countries in Africa to register their products under African Free Trade Agreement. Our laboratory in Yaba, the Central Drug Control Laboratory, is now pre-qualified September last year by WHO. Only 11 laboratories in Africa have that recognition. Why are all these so important? Because of our manufacturers. Because we want them to be able to compete with others. So, in terms of unlocking healthcare value chain, we started it 7 years ago in NAFDAC. We also had the policy of the ceiling 34. Before we had 9 products under that ceiling. Now we have 34 products. And we're going to increase them. Those products cannot be brought into the country. We must be proud of our own. We must be proud of our own. We had a colonial mentality where everything foreign is good. No. We must be proud of our own, but without a strong regulatory agency, we cannot. We'll just be deceiving ourselves. That's why we are balancing things out. Now, if you want to build a pharmaceutical company, you have to show us the blueprint. So we have the Pharma Solutions department or division in NAFDAC to ensure that quality is built into the system, not added. Now, you cannot just bring any APIs or active pharmaceutical ingredients into the country or excipients. We want our manufacturers to source from qualified, certified facilities. We are posting the link on our website, the qualified, certified facilities. So if you have API manufacturers overseas, please ask them whether they have been certified. Your APIs and excipients are as good as the product. Junk in, junk out. We will not tolerate that again. What else have we done? We are going to start towards the end of next year, bioequivalence requirement. Why is bioequivalence so important? About 95% of our products are generics. We want to be sure there is interchangeability, meaning you can use a generic and have the same therapeutic effect as the innovator, which is usually costly. These are things that we are putting in place so that the man on the street will be comfortable, will be confident about the products that they are taking. In terms of the products after approval, post-marketing surveillance, we are working around the clock. We have a menace in our country, open markets, where anything goes. That is going to be history very soon. The policy came before my time, but we are changing the paradigm as we speak. We had a situation about 3 months ago where products in the open market had zero content. Actually 4 products had zero content, and they are pediatric medicines. You do not need to kill a child with gun. Just give that child so-called medicine with zero content. You've already killed the child with upper respiratory infection. So we mean business. In regulatory, our manufacturers mean business. I share some of these stories. They will say, who on earth can be doing that? We've shut the company down. The case is in court. So we are doing common sense regulation. What our ministers are doing, unlocking value chain, the water was already on the ground. We have already wetted the ground. It makes it easier. But we thank God for the fact that they are cerebral. They can actually appreciate what NAFDAC has been doing. So I want to congratulate PMGMAN again and other manufacturers in-house or manufacturing groups in-house, because what they are doing can be only described as patriotic. Why? The only thing they do not import is water. The only thing they do not import is water. They have to treat their water here, even the water. They have to treat the water. They have to generate electricity and whatnot. So I want to celebrate. I'm celebrating with you. This is a big deal as far as NAFDAC is concerned. We had the executive order from our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, about 2 months ago. And we are working night and day to make sure that that moratorium of 2 years will produce a lot of positive outcomes. I thank God for our customs brother, Dr. Olomu, that is here. We don't want any part of that 2-year moratorium to be stalled. So we are working with them to ensure that there is no demurrage being accumulated unnecessarily. The executive order, again, is for both medicines, vaccines, and syringes. NAFDAC is already hand-holding several companies in terms of syringes manufacturing. We are hand-holding a company for in vitro diagnostics manufacturing. So we are doing common sense regulation. We need that hand-holding. In 50 years, we will look back, and we will know that those that are sitting here were there at the pioneer stage. And it is based on implementation. So I want to thank PMGMAN for inviting NAFDAC and the very hard work of the organizing team. It is not easy to put all these things together. Again, I want to acknowledge the Indian partners, our manufacturers that are here. It is not easy to work in this environment, but like I said, pardon our appearance, we are under construction. Thank you very much.
That was action-packed, talking about implementation. A lady that walked the talk. Now, you've been welcomed to Lagos, and this is Lagos. However, the #1 citizen of Lagos State, the person of the executive governor of Lagos State, who, at this occasion, is the chief host, will be addressing us shortly. Please join me as we make welcome His Excellency Babajide Sanwolu, the governor of Lagos State, ably represented at this occasion by no other than the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi. A round of applause for him. Sir, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. And let me first dispense with some very high-level protocols. Let me recognize my good friend, Professor Adeyeye, who just spoke, the Director General of NAFDAC, who we rely on so heavily to ensure that we have access to quality medicines and consumables in the health sector of Nigeria. I'd also like to recognize my friend or whoever is representing the coordinator of the presidential value-added chain, Dr. Abdul Mukhtar, to this occasion, and all the distinguished guests, friends, of PMGMAN, and of course to the leadership of PMGMAN for this occasion. Permit me to also recognize distinguished members of the ambassadorial corps that are here today supporting this initiative. I think it's very important that we applaud the targets that are being set by this fraternity to achieve 70% domestic manufacture. I think that is really very, very ambitious. But as we always say, Nigeria is the leader. Nigeria doesn't take last. And Nigeria has to forge ahead and show the way. It is critical that we promote the concept of buy local. But in so doing, we must ensure that we're not putting our citizens at risk, because the buying local represents substandard products, especially in the health sector, where a product, if it is a substandard quality, can result in severe morbidity and mortality or sickness and death. And so it's one of those sectors that we have to pay attention to. We have to pay attention to detail. And we must operate on a very high moral platform, where knowing full well that the product you're manufacturing or the product that you're making available to our citizens may actually cause severe harm or danger if there are other attributes that are guiding your moral ethos. Medicine security and national safety sufficiency is critical to our survival as a country. During the COVID outbreak, we saw the significance of the very weak manufacturing base that we had in Nigeria. And it was a wake-up call for all of us. The fact that we couldn't produce face masks, not even simple hand sanitizers, simple drugs were not available to us. And there was a global shortage because the whole world was inundated with this pandemic. And it was an eye-opener, a serious lesson in the fundamental principles of stimulating local industry and self-sufficiency. I want to applaud PMGMAN for all the doggedness. This is not the first time I've been to one of your meetings. And every time I come to your meetings, the one thing that stands out is the doggedness and the resilience of this fraternity in your ability to lobby government to get the things that you want and the things that you need to drive this local industry of self-sufficiency. And so today represents another of those occasions that you're making it clearly understood by all stakeholders, and including and particularly policymakers, that this is what you require to drive that local industry of self-sufficiency in the health sector and the pharmaceutical industry. The role played by the regulatory agencies, as you've just heard from my colleague, Professor Adeyeye, is a no-nonsense business. It is one where there's almost zero tolerance to breaking the rules and breaking the law. And we're so fortunate to have such a steadfast leader of that organization that has been rattled by so many lobbyists and stakeholders, and she still stands firm as a rock to ensure that Nigerians do not subject themselves to abnormal thinking practices that will affect so many people. Professor Adeyeye, we applaud you. And we're so lucky to have you at the helm of affairs of the regulatory agency. You just heard her talk about quality assurance systems. Systems able to determine bioavailability and bioequivalence. That may be a new era for us in Nigeria. I'm not sure that we have that technology yet. But if we're going to rely on generics, we need to be able to say that these generics that are much more affordable to our citizens have been put through the test of bioavailability and bioequivalence to make sure that it's producing the right amount of active ingredient at wherever it is to be absorbed, and that when it is absorbed into your body, that it is reaching the appropriate receptors to deliver whatever mechanism of therapeutics that it is designed to do. So this is a new era for us, and Lagos is very anxious to see this innovation such that we can proudly say that when you are spending 1/10 of your out-of-pocket spending on a generic, that you are certain that this generic has the same bioequivalence and bioavailability of the very expensive branded models that we know have already been through these kinds of tests. So thank you very much, Professor Adeyeye, for that. That is music to the ears of the governor of Lagos State, to know that we're putting on another layer of quality assurance into the whole pharmaceutical industry. You mentioned the executive order. That executive order by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of the most bold statements that I've ever seen in terms of executive orders. Pushing it right into our face that this is the time to drive and promote the idea of self-sufficiency by driving local innovation, by ensuring that it's not all about importation and dispelling the idea that anything imported is of higher value than what we can make in this country. I was so happy to see that executive order released on the 27th of June of this year, because I think it is what you require in this industry, to know that you have the full backing of policy at the highest level to promote your enterprise and your fraternity. The presidential value-added chain led by Dr. Mukhtar is also another innovation of federal government to ensure that we're driving innovation pipelines locally and we're adding value, not just in terms of putting APIs together to form generic compositions, but also that we are able to introduce research, local relevant research with findings that drive our own domestic pipelines. Because the value is in the intellectual property. It is time that government, both federal and Lagos State and any other state, understand the relationship between research and development. It's not called R&D for nothing. Research is the only route to development. Local relevant and local funded research, and I'm speaking to myself, and I'm speaking to other policymakers in Nigeria. We know what we need to do. The times when we were looking for funding for our local research from the NIH or from the Wellcome Trust or from JICA, yes, those sources of funding are important. But as government, we need to make available our own local funding to our own indigenous researchers to produce our own intellectual property and drive our own innovation pipelines to make a complete cycle of research, innovation, and development. And it's only through this kind of policy drive that we're going to be able to emerge as an industrial country and compete with the rest of the world. The Lagos State government is serious in this regard. His Excellency Babajide Sanwolu is in talks and developing strategies through our own Ministry of Trade and Commerce to interact with the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Commerce and the Bank of Industry to promote small to medium enterprises and micro enterprises, as well as large industrial startups, to ensure that there is funding available at acceptable interest rates to trigger this stimulus that is so required locally. And finally, the Lagos State government is writing its draft law on the Drug Management Agency for Lagos State. So many other states have done it. We're a bit behind in Lagos because we have so many industrial platforms here in Lagos and in Ogun State. And we felt that we're manufacturing most of the drugs in this vicinity. But I think it's important that Lagos State develops its drug manufacturing agency. We're developing the law. We've almost finished. We'll be submitting that through Cabinet, which will go to the House of Assembly. And Lagos will be able to not only promote the idea of local manufacture, but promote the idea of continuous quality, total quality assurance, including random testing alongside with NAFDAC, and forming a collaboration with the private sector, with NAFDAC, to ensure that we can detect the quality of our consumables, drugs in this fraternity, and ensure that we are confident of the generic products that are available to Lagosians, that are manufactured in Lagos, and that are safe for Lagosians, the rest of Nigeria, and the entire sub-region. On that note, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to represent His Excellency today. He sends his regards. As you know, he's away with the president in China. Otherwise, he would have been here. And I bring the wholehearted greetings of the Executive Council of Lagos and tell you that Lagos is promoting buy local in all our procurement processes, just to make sure that we are ensuring your survival and your longevity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Babajide Sanwolu, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, ably represented here by the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi. Now we move on to, from the Center of Excellence, Lagos State, we move on to the Federal. We'll be hearing from the special guest of honor and also making the official opening of this epoch-making event, the 7th Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo. I will repeat, I'm proud to say, it's the largest exhibition of Central and West Africa of complete pharma manufacturing. So we'll be listening to the Honorable Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, the person of Dr. Tunji Alausa. A round of applause, please feel free. Yes, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to members of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Group, of the manufacturers.
Wait, one minute. It's a hybrid. It's hybrid. We're going to run it in a hybrid fashion. All right. So we're going to hear one or two comments physically, and the others will go digital in the spirit of being hybrid. Madam.
A very good afternoon to every one of us. On behalf of the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Alipate, by extension, the special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister for State of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Alausa. The permanent secretary was supposed to be here this afternoon. However, because of other contending activities, she had to just move me around 5 o'clock yesterday to be here to present all my principles. So on their behalf, we want to thank everybody, particularly the High Commissioner, Deputy High Commissioner of India, the Commissioner for Health from Lagos State, our mentor, our driver, and our icon, the DG of NAFDAC. We want to thank all of you, our regulatory agencies, for all the presentations. The Federal Ministry of Health is in tandem with this collaboration. And I want to assure you, sir, the chairman, the executive order that was given last month has started working. I can assure you that the exemption, the IDEC, the import duty exemption, is actually started. Most of us are not even aware of what's happening. Get in touch with the ministry and it will shock you of what we're doing. To also reiterate what the DG had said, the import duty list soon will be expanded, that local medicines produced in Nigeria should be, adhered to. And I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the WAMBO platform, which is a global platform where manufacturers, compete. I will advise that we have a conversation. The quality of medicine in Nigeria can compete favorably at that level. So on this note, I want to thank every one of you, and as my principal presents and open this meeting, I want to wish us a very fruitful deliberation. God bless you.
On the 7th edition of GPE, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to members of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturer Group of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, PMGMAN, on the 7th edition of your Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo 2024. Due to pressing duties and commitments, I am unable to attend today's event physically. Nonetheless, I wanted to offer my full support to this significant occasion. Since its establishment 40 years ago, PMGMAN has grown into a substantial advocacy group, with numerous manufacturing companies in Nigeria now producing medicine in earnest to drive medicine security. This year's theme, 40 years of advocacy, fostering partnership and innovation to unlock the pharma manufacturing value chain in Nigeria, Central and West Africa, resonates strongly with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR vision for the healthcare sector, which prioritizes increasing domestic production of healthcare products and commodities, reducing cost of medicine and healthcare equipment, and stimulating investment in the healthcare ecosystem. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration is unwavering in its commitment to unlocking the healthcare value chain in Nigeria. In the past 16 months, we have critically analyzed the steps needed to guarantee access to quality healthcare, focusing on initiatives and policy to quickly stimulate local production, in line with our 4-point agenda: improving governance, improving our population health outcome, and unlocking healthcare value chain and health security. We have engaged extensively with the industry and enacted a presidential executive order aimed at boosting local production of pharmaceuticals, diagnostic and medical devices, and more. The reform has attracted over $4.8 billion in potential investment into the healthcare sector. To all international exhibitors, development partners, regional governments, and bilateral organizations present here today, Nigeria presents a prime opportunity to become the next hub for pharma and life science manufacturing in Africa. I encourage you all to consider Nigeria as a destination for your next investment. Fostering partnership and embracing innovation are key to unlocking the full potential of our healthcare sector. I thank you all for listening, and I hereby declare Nigeria Pharma Expo 7th edition open.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this conference has been hereby declared opened, and now I will say that all that needs to be said has been said. So it's time to have the vote of thanks. I'll be inviting a collabo vote of thanks. This means a combination of the Executive Secretary of PMGMAN, the person of Pharmacist Frank, as well as the representative of GPE. Yes. Many might be wondering, is Yakasai here? Yes. I need to specially recognize that the former president of PSN, Ahmed Yakasai, is here, as well as chairman of PSN Lagos State, and of course, the GPO. Oh, he's here by. Oh, yes, GPE, Mr. Parash. Yeah, he's looking fresh.
Good afternoon. Let me recognize the senior officers from the different organizations, pharmaceutical professionals, ladies and gentlemen. Just I would like to brief you about, very small brief I would like to give you that 14 years back we started the expo with the 25 manufacturers. On that time everyone was thinking that why in my industry, why I'm going to Nigeria? And now everyone has realized that why I'm in Nigeria. And here the objective is to basically to support the pharmaceutical local manufacturing. That's why if you can look at our slogan, we said that pharmaceutical manufacturing. Here we are purely displaying the product or services which is being helped the local manufacturing. And last 14 years when we started this to till now, we are happy to know that the local manufacturing has grown up to the 40%. And we are ready to support all the departments and all the government officials to make the local manufacturing plus the pharmaceutical industries to export the product across the world. The way we have done it in our past, more than 10 countries we've done that. It is not that we are just talking. We have more than 10 countries we have done that in last 25 years, and they are exporting to more than 100 countries now. So first of all, I would like to thank all the exhibitors, those who have come all the way from the different part of the world, and the visitors and the pharmaceutical industry people. Thank you very much for your coming, and we are hopeful that this will be your fruitful visit. Thank you.
On behalf of the chairman, the executive management of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group, and the entire membership of PMGMAN and the committee that put up this big show, I want to say thank you for being here. If I'm to do the roll call, it then means Madam DG will miss her flight. All I have to say is thank you, and gracefully, the Honorable Commissioner representing the Governor, on short notice, you were here. We are very grateful. And we are looking forward to bigger PMGMAN to be able to take care of the needs of Nigerians who continue to champion medicine security. Thank you once again. We look forward to welcoming you again in the year 2026 for another landmark event. So we'll go out to cut the tape. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We should all remain seated. Yes, please, so that you are served your food and souvenirs. You don't want to miss out on it. However, a few persons would have to rise to go and conduct the cutting of the tape.
and to ensure the place is actually of standard for us to come and visit. And to do this, we have the chief host, His Excellency, the number one citizen of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwolu, the governor of Lagos State, ably represented at this occasion by Professor Akin Abayomi. Also, our own mama, the DG of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, and the representative of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Investment. And next is the representative of the Honorable Minister for Health, as well as the Nigerian Customs, yes, and the NDLA rep, of course, the guest speaker, and the chairman, PMGMAN, and the CEO, India Commissioner, as well as the CEO of GPE. Yes, these persons would rise, please, if you don't mind. Yes, let them go and cut the tape. Yes, while the many of us here remain seated to receive our food. You've worked so hard, and your souvenirs. Yes. The chairman, PSN, Ebonyi State, is here present. Yes, that's good. They are representing us. They are representing us to cut the tape and to declare, of course, you are also invited, the man that will bring the money back from industry. And interesting to know that on the checklist, it does not include for you to bring your mom, your parents. So that's interesting. That means we can meet the checklist. Okay. So please, let's remain seated while lunch is served. Ushers, can we be quick about this? It's already lunchtime, 1 p.m. Okay, so the mic is going downstairs.
Can we get reception? Have they got? Hello? Hello? Okay, yeah, we can hear. Sorry.
Okay. On behalf of the citizens of Nigeria, and since we're in Lagos, the residents of Lagos, I'm representing His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwolu. I'm joined here by several dignitaries who have come to witness this wonderful exhibition set up by PMG-MAN to give us an idea of the innovations that are happening in this sector, and to give us an idea of what we need to domesticate here in Lagos and Nigeria to ensure that we reach a state of self-sufficiency and reach our targets. I'd like to ask God to bless this event, allow good networks to develop, networks that will be lasting, to promote manufacturing and consumables. God bless you all. And I declare this exhibition open.
Yeah, so the chairman is going to lead the dignitaries of the exhibition. We have 2 slots. We have hall 2 here. Hall 1 is on the other side. But please, dignitaries can just store hall 2. And the rest of us, we are free to visit all the exhibition stands. Please, tomorrow will be industry engagement, B2B. Please, we'll still have this exhibition going on tomorrow. B2B, get to know the companies from China, from India, from Nigeria. Local manufacturing, contract manufacturing opportunities are open. God bless you.
The exhibition stands have been declared open, as well as the 7th Nigeria Pharma Manufacturers Expo. So we have sets of exhibition stands here, as well as in the other hall. And remember, Google Map will not show you where to go. This booklet contains the directory of all the locations of all the exhibition stands. The ushers are working very hard to ensure we all get our meal. Okay, any PMG-MAN that has taken food, please return it. You are our host. You cannot be eating while your guests have not eaten. So please give it to our guest. Give it to me. You will meet pharmacist Aja. He will show you where your food is. Mm-hmm. Ushers, please. DJ, can you play music, please? Music. And remember, the program continues tomorrow, where we're having several B2B meetings. You know, your network determines your net worth. Of course, you don't want to miss out in the financial, the finance being offered by BOI and different state-of-the-art manufacturers here present. Please get in touch. Music, please. Ushers, hurry up.
Hello? 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 All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Our special guests have finished a tour of the exhibition stands, and I'd like to say some of them might be leaving from there. So please, this function is officially closed, and the next part is a tour of the exhibitions. There are so many companies exhibiting their products. You get a chance to discuss with them, get a chance to interact. So please, our special guest sends their regards. So this function is obviously closed. So we can now go down. We have 2 exhibition stands here. One here is Hall 2. The other one is Hall 1 for the local pharma companies. So please, we are free to take a tour of the exhibition stands for the rest of today. Tomorrow also, there will be a tour of the exhibition stands, and this room will be made available for business-to-business discussions from 12 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you so much for being our guest today, and God bless you.